Hi friends and family. It's snowing on the mountain. It was huge flakes that you could almost not see anything. And now it's just spitting. We'll see if it turns out to be anything better. We'll take a walk back through. And I'll jump you from place to place as I walk, because it's a good 20-minute walk to the back of our property and just see what we can see. So, only a courageous few out of the feathered friends. And if I stay quiet, you can hear maybe the snow hitting the trees in the ground. Let's go down to the next section. Oh, that's a couple pretty boys wondering what I'm doing. Yeah, I know. We're back to the next section back. Has game trails. Game trails right through there. There's a border over there that we have with our neighbors that we have not met yet. I've tried to, but they're like to be reclusive a bit, so it's hard to talk to them about what we want to do for our border. Take the fence down, because most of it's down anyway. Put a fence up. You know, if we take the fence down, I'd like to leave places for the deer and the bear to come through, because their land is about the same size as ours next door. So it would be nice to keep those migration trails open. And the snow's letting up. It was so huge before, it was incredible. Almost couldn't see maybe 30 feet in front of you. It was so thick. We'll go down to where the bees are next. Down by towards the orchard there, and see if the deers are hunkered down where I know that they stay. And down there's the orchard. Just for your reference, that's where the bees are. So when you see the game camera. And right behind that tree and down in there is where all the deer lay low when it's weather like this, because it's really calm in this area. And they go in and out of the trees here. I'm not going to go down there and flush them out. They're down there for a reason. I was up on the ridge line earlier, and there's nothing there. But we'll walk on down, go up on the ridge line, see what we can see. See what's down there and what's up there. We're at the lowest part of our land, which is 230 feet lower than where we started this video, down the waterway. And we're going to walk around this way and go down to my little buddy spot, Cobber's Way. And if you come to visit, like many people have, you'd be surprised, you can take these walks with us. And if you're not in a walking mood, we can drive you, look around. But it's so quiet back here that the only thing I hear is my breathing and the snow when it gets to a temperature where it turns a little icy. Haven't heard any snorts of deer yet or anything else. Hopefully nothing big and furry. But gotta take life as it comes, right? Go down this way. See what we see. I would do if they still have it, I would do a Facebook Live or something. But there is zero signal down here for cell phones. Once you get past the last part I showed you, there is no signal at all. And this is an area where they used to camp. It's pretty flat. It's all ferns in the summer. You can't even see the ground for all the fern. And I'm going to go up on either the upper, there's two trails going up. I don't know if I'm going to go on the upper or the lower one. I'll probably try to go on the upper one. And then we'll walk the next area and see what we see. I see some branches rubbed. And we absolutely are looking for shed antlers. But you'll see that concrete thing over there. That's a well house. That's what we've got all through here. It's not ours, it's on another piece of property. So we're going to go up there next, which is a whole lot steeper than it looks. All right, on the upper trail, which is kind of steep, climbing that area because it kind of terminates here. Goes across to somebody else's property. That's a long way down. You can see a lower trail right there where the snow's kind of nice and clean. So next we're going to be heading up this way and head back into the woods. The little pine trees are already in the woods. Okay, I'm nearing the other high point of our land. If you look very carefully, you can see our house up there. There's the barn, the house is right above it. There's a big ravine between where I'm at and where it's at. And that'll be the path we'll take down, which is a whole lot easier. We're at the top. I will be quiet for a bit so you can enjoy the silence of the woods. Let's move on. We're at one end of our pine woods. Going that way. Go down the other side of the hill here a little bit. Now, just to see who's paying attention, if I'm worried about bear, not too much. It's that time of the year. They don't go in hibernation up here. There's another term for it. If you Google it and figure it out and post a comment of what that's called when it's not hibernation, I will know that somebody is watching this and somebody just didn't bail after the first 30 seconds going, this is boring. It might be boring, but it's Sunday, it's snowing, you're in the woods, it's peaceful, and you're in your nice warm house watching all this. We're going to go down in the area that I just cleared heading down to our back property line. I'm not going to go all the way because we haven't cut across yet. So this road is the top of the ridge line going back, which we'll follow. And this is exploratory to our old, well, not our old property, but our property that we haven't really explored yet because you literally couldn't walk back through here until we cleared it. My goal is to have a path all the way around within 10 or 20 feet of our borders. For a couple reasons. Number one, it makes nice riding trails. Number two, if I see a tree I want, that would be really good to cut. I can get to it with the tractor. And number three, if there's ever a fire starting somewhere, it gives us access to it. Number four, the back of our property runs into a old private road, so we have another way out of the property if it's ever needed. Sorry, I just heard something small, probably a bunny. So let me get to the bottom of this and then we'll come back on. So to the end of what we cleared out, our property goes down that way quite a ways more, and way down there we just haven't dug down to it yet with clearing up brush like you see here. There's a game trail going this way. I may follow it for a little bit, see where it leads me. It probably will lead me in an area where I can't go any farther. There's actually a stream down there. It's a decent sized one. Eventually I'd like to buy the land back there. That's that other ridge line. There's some property that's landlocked back there I'd like to get a hold of, just to have it. Our whole property, you might call it a conservation area. We don't allow hunting. We let nature take its course the best it can. I don't know how far I'm going to get this way. May have to go back up the hill. It's really slick in areas. But you can see these are mountain laurels, which is a version of a rhododendron. They grow all year round, but they need covers of other trees for them to grow. So I'm going to go back topside and then I'll hook back up with you. All right, we're back to the top. This last 100 feet's not bad, but the first couple 100 feet are really bad. If you hear me breathing heavy, well, I want you to picture, those of you who have been at Penzic, it's like walking from the back of the fort straight up Mount Iceland. That's the slopes that we're dealing with in a lot of areas. So we're going to walk all the way down this path and I'll show you what we got up here. This is a lot easier on horseback, a lot easier on mechanical equipment. A lot healthier to do it this way though, right? Go ahead and take another drink of your pop or your beer while your feet's up watching this. If you made it this far in the video, comment beer below so I know that people watched it this far. When you do these things, I don't know if people really care. It's just my way of staying connected with people that I haven't seen in a long time. And I'm not going down that way. It's just going to be too slick. But if you imagine going down about a football field, maybe a little longer, that's our back property line. And that field beyond is not ours. So, and there's the pine trees we were in before. I'm gonna go back up this other side here and see more stuff as we go down through. There might be some deer up here on the left-hand side. They weren't here earlier, but they could be nested here. Usually they go down in the valleys when the weather sets in, where the wind's not, although it's very calm right now. Stupidly quiet. Wave at my trail cam watching my back border. Yeah, because that's the other neighbor. They own a bunch of property that way, but they do cattle. Alright, I'm going to hit you up next time I get to the top. Alright, we're at the other corner of our land. Walked all the way up from as far as you can see there and further. And I got a path that goes this way. Now I'm going to leave you on. I'm going to stop talking just in case the deer, there's another area right where that limb is down, about 50 feet past that. Sometimes they bed down there. There'll be 5 to 7 of them. I'm just going to walk quietly. A lot of times if I walk quietly, they just look at me and stay there. If they're not there, I can't control nature, right? But you see all the pines back there. So it's shh time. Well, they're not here either. You can see the game trail right there. This is kind of like the worst zoo adventure ever, huh? All the animals are asleep in their den. So we're gonna go up to the past the sawmill, back to where I started on the ridge, and start heading down into the ravine again, heading back towards the house. I'll pick you up again when there's something interesting, or at least something peaceful to look at. Maybe something ugly. Wow. I'm getting old. So I'll show you where we're at right now. I'm going to turn you around. Just came down that hill, heading back down to the ravine. And property goes off that way. Game trail. Neighbors up there, nice people. Turn you back around as I head down this way. So in my mid-20s, I always wondered how people afforded places like this. I was always jealous of them. Not my best moments. None of my 20s was my best moments, to be honest. And now I've got one, so I'm very thankful for that. It come at a cost, though, in my earlier life. I have to admit at this point. I worked for a big company, a small cog in a big company. And it took a lot of my time, sometimes at the expense of being a good parent, sometimes the expense of being a good husband. But we all survived through it. So this is where I'm at now. And this is why I like to be giving at this point, as much as I can, for having people come out and visit. I see a lot of deer. They're running through here. Deer prints. But I don't see any of the animals. So yeah, we just had one of Kirsten's friends stay the weekend, and took them on the tour. And just about everybody that comes says the same thing when they stay in the guest room. It's the best they've slept in a long time. And that's kind of what all this is about, right? Peace in your lifetime. And I'm going to throw you back around here. And probably up there is where the deers are nested in. You'll see some brush up there in that tree I showed you before. They're generally bedded down in that area. We're on the other side of it right now. So I'll hit you up in a little bit. This is the incline back to the house where most people start regretting their decision to walk. So we take our time and go slow because it gets steeper as you go. It doesn't look bad when you start, but it gets bad by the time you're winded at the top. So we're back at the top. People recognize this view. There's a game trail back through there and around that little knob there. I don't know how it'll show up on camera. Is the other place they bed down. I'm not going to walk it. It's actually an easier way to get to the house. But if they're back here enjoying their Sunday, I don't want to disturb them. So we'll see. Almost to the top. And normally, I'd have the pups with me. But two things. Number one, Mom's home. So sometimes you get halfway down here, they turn around and go back to the house. And then you got to figure out who has the dogs. Or you have to go walk back up to get them, which is not fun. Number two, Tawny's a deer chaser. And if I was having a peaceful Sunday and look for deer, I didn't want her scrambling them everywhere. Everybody deserves peace. We call it deer peace, right? So if you made it to this far in the video, comment deer peace below. And that would be PEA. It's not hunting season. Well, it is hunting season, but not on our property. So it's not that kind of deer piece. I'm about up to the house. Catch y'all later. Bye.